Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes. In today's video, we're going to be mixing some neon liquid dye. As far as I know, at this moment in time, actual neon dye does not exist in Procion dye through any of the dye companies. So this particular recipe I have found looks the most neon. Now I'm using less dye than what is recommended. Normally you would do 2 teaspoons of dye to 1 cup of water, but I'm only doing 1 and I'm doing it on purpose. I'm trying to lighten down the colors a little bit. Now, if you're interested in making pastels, you can do the same thing. Just adjust your water or add more water or just use less dye. But this is what I use when I want to make a neon shirt. So enjoy! Make sure you dry off your measuring spoon really well. You don't want to introduce moisture into your dye jars. The bottles that I'm filling up are the 8-ounce bottles from Dharma Trading Company, and I love them. They're soft, and so if you have arthritis, it doesn't hurt your hands to squeeze them. They hold 1 cup of dye perfectly. And I recommend that you add the date onto your label so you know when you mixed your dye. Because after a week, 2 weeks, the dye begins to become more pastel because it's deteriorating. And then after a couple of months, it will crystallize in the bottle and clog up your tips. And I don't really recommend using dye that is a few months old, but you certainly can get away with it. You're just definitely going to have a pastel shirt. So what I like to do is I just want to mix up enough dye for the project that I'm working on, and then that's it, and then that way I'm not wasting any dye. I get asked quite a bit about ice dyeing versus liquid dyeing because, as most of you know, I prefer to ice dye. Is ice dyeing using more dye than liquid dye? Well, it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's like the same thing. I can probably make 2 liquid shirts versus 1 ice dye shirt with the same amount of dye. But if I don't use up all the dye in my bottle, then I end up pouring it down the drain and I'm wasting a lot of dye. You see what I mean? So you just have to find what you like to do best. And right now I'm in the mood to make some liquid dyes. That hot pink looks so beautiful. It's one of my favorite liquid colors. It doesn't ice dye very well. Now keep in mind that everything that I'm using is down below in the description box. So like the OXO silicone measuring cup is amazing for mixing liquid dyes. And then the immersion blender, they're a must. I love lilac. It's one of my favorite in the purple category, like in the light purples. Deep purple is my favorite purple. And then, lilac, lavender, like all of those. I always seem to go towards the lilac. So, if you're new to the channel, you may not know that I have a Facebook group and it's called Belladonna Dyes Community Tie-Dye Group. And that's where you can showcase your tie-dye and I can see what you guys are up to. So, I look forward to seeing all of your neon rainbows and other projects soon. So, mix up this recipe and show me what you're working with. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing!